To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, a comprehensive summary. To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee's seminal novel published in 1960 takes readers on an evocative journey through the American South during the 1930s. A masterfully crafted work, the narrative unfolds in the fictional town of Maycomb, Alabama, exploring themes of racial injustice, moral growth, and the loss of innocence. Through the eyes of Scout Finch, the young narrator, and guided by her father, the principled lawyer Atticus Finch, the story delves into the complexities of societal prejudices during a tumultuous period in American history. The narrative opens with Scout reflecting on her childhood in Maycomb, where she resides with her older brother Jem and their father, Atticus. The Finch family holds a respected position in the community, with Atticus known for his integrity and commitment to justice. The children's fascination with Boo Radley, a mysterious neighbor who never leaves his home, sets the stage for the exploration of societal prejudices and the consequences of making judgments based on appearances. As Scout and Jem befriend Dill, a boy visiting Maycomb, their curiosity about Boo Radley intensifies. The mysterious neighbor becomes the subject of their summertime fascination, leading to plans to draw him out of seclusion. Their attempts to engage with Boo are met with disapproval from the adult residents of Maycomb, reflecting the town's aversion to the unknown and the unconventional. This subplot introduces the novel's overarching theme of societal prejudice and the dangers of making assumptions about others based on superficial impressions. Atticus, a widowed single father, navigates the challenges of raising his children in a racially charged environment. His legal work places him in the center of racial inequality as he defends Tom Robinson, an African-American man falsely accused of raping Mayella Ewell, a white woman. Atticus approaches the case with dedication and integrity, despite facing hostility and criticism from the racially biased townspeople. The trial of Tom Robinson becomes a focal point of the narrative, illustrating the deeply rooted racism prevalent in Maycomb. Atticus presents a compelling case, revealing the lack of evidence against Tom and suggesting that Mayella's injuries were likely inflicted by her father, Bob Ewell. However, racial prejudices prevail, leading to Tom's unjust conviction. This pivotal event highlights the pervasive injustice and inequality of the time. In addition to the trial, the novel explores the Finch children's experiences at school, where they encounter classmates who hold racist views and perpetuate stereotypes. Scout, in particular, grapples with reconciling her father's teachings of empathy and understanding with the harsh realities of racial prejudice present in her community. The Finch family's African-American. The Finch family's African-American housekeeper, Calpurnia, serves as a bridge between the Finch children and the Black community, providing an alternate perspective on the racial dynamics in Maycomb. The character of Boo Radley, the mysterious neighbor, remains a constant presence throughout the narrative. Boo becomes a symbol of misunderstood innocence and societal judgment. As events transpire, Boo emerges from the shadows to protect Scout and Jem from an act of violence, challenging the preconceived notions held by the community and reinforcing the novel's themes of empathy and understanding. The climax of the novel occurs with a confrontation between Bob Ewell and the Finch children. Seeking revenge for the perceived slights during the trial, Ewell attacks Jem and Scout on their way home from a Halloween pageant. Boo Radley intervenes, saving the children but sustaining injuries in the process. The sheriff, Heck Tate, decides to protect Boo from public scrutiny, underscoring the novel's emphasis on understanding and compassion. To Kill a Mockingbird concludes with Scout reflecting on the events that shaped her childhood. The novel emphasizes the loss of innocence as Scout realizes the complexities of human nature and the prevalence of injustice in the world. Atticus imparts a valuable lesson about understanding others by walking in their shoes, reinforcing the novel's central message of empathy and tolerance. The title itself, To Kill a Mockingbird, carries significant symbolism. Atticus tells his children that it is a sin to kill a mockingbird because these birds are innocent creatures that bring joy with their songs and do no harm. The metaphor extends to characters like Tom Robinson and Boo Radley, who are unjustly harmed by society. Harper Lee's prose is characterized by its evocative simplicity, capturing the voice of a child, narrating her experiences and observations. The novel's structure, framed as a retrospective by an adult scout looking back on her childhood, adds depth to the narrative. Lee's portrayal of the racial and social dynamics in the American South during the 1930s is both sensitive and incisive, contributing to the novel's enduring impact. Themes and symbolism. 1. Racial injustice. The central theme of racial injustice permeates the novel, highlighting the systemic racism ingrained in Southern society during the 1930s. The trial of Tom Robinson serves as a microcosm of the racial prejudices prevalent at the time, illustrating how deeply entrenched beliefs can obstruct justice. 2. Moral growth and loss of innocence. The novel is a Bildungsroman, tracing Scout and Jem's moral growth as they navigate the complexities of their world. The loss of innocence occurs as they confront the harsh realities of racism, injustice, and societal prejudices. This theme underscores the novel's exploration of personal and societal maturation. 3. Empathy and understanding. Atticus Finch serves as a moral compass, imparting crucial lessons about empathy and understanding. His emphasis on seeing the world from others' perspectives encourages Scout and Jem, as well as readers, to challenge preconceived notions and cultivate compassion. 4. Symbolism of the mockingbird. The metaphor of the mockingbird represents innocence and the senseless destruction of that innocence. Characters like Tom Robinson and Boo Radley, marginalized and harmed by societal prejudices, are likened to mockingbirds, innocent souls affected by the injustices of society. 5. Societal prejudices. Maycomb's rigid social hierarchy and adherence to traditional values contribute to the perpetuation of societal prejudices. The novel critiques the town's reluctance to challenge ingrained beliefs, highlighting the dangers of conformity and the need for societal change. 6. Parental influence. The novel underscores the impact of parental guidance on moral development. Atticus's principled approach and commitment to justice shape Scout and Jem's understanding of right and wrong, emphasizing the role of parents in instilling values and fostering empathy. 7. Small-town dynamics. Maycomb serves as a microcosm of Southern small-town life, showcasing the interconnectedness of its residents and the challenges of challenging established norms. The insular nature of Maycomb contributes to the perpetuation of prejudice and the resistance to change. 8. Education and knowledge. The educational system in Maycomb reflects the prevailing societal attitudes, with teachers reinforcing racial stereotypes and biases. Scout's experiences at school become a lens through which the novel explores the impact of education on the perpetuation of societal prejudices.
The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby, by F. Scott Fitzgerald, is a classic American novel that explores themes of wealth, love, and the American dream during the Roaring Twenties. Published in 1925, the novel is set in the summer of 1922 and unfolds in the fictional towns of West Egg and East Egg on Long Island, New York. The story is narrated by Nick Carraway, a Yale graduate and World War I veteran who becomes entangled in the lives of his enigmatic neighbor, Jay Gatsby, and his cousin, Daisy Buchanan. The novel begins with Nick Carraway moving to West Egg to work in the bond business. He rents a modest house next to the extravagant mansion of Jay Gatsby, a mysterious and wealthy man known for his lavish parties. As Nick settles into his new life, he reconnects with his cousin, Daisy Buchanan, who lives in the upscale East Egg with her husband, Tom Buchanan. Tom Buchanan is a wealthy and arrogant man who exhibits a sense of entitlement and privilege. Daisy, his wife, is beautiful and charming, but there is a sense of restlessness and dissatisfaction in her marriage. Tom is having an affair with Myrtle Wilson, a working-class woman from the Valley of Ashes, an industrial wasteland between West Egg and New York City. Nick becomes a witness to the complex dynamics between Tom and Daisy, observing their troubled marriage and Tom's extramarital affairs. Through his cousin, Nick meets Jordan Baker, a professional golfer and a friend of Daisy. Jordan becomes Nick's romantic interest, and their relationship adds another layer to the intricate social fabric of the novel. The enigmatic figure of J. Gatsby becomes a central focus of the narrative. Gatsby is known for his extravagant parties, which attract a myriad of guests from all walks of life. Despite his wealth and reputation as a mysterious and glamorous host, Gatsby remains elusive and enigmatic to those who attend his parties. Rumors circulate about his background, with some suggesting that he is the nephew of the German Kaiser. Gatsby's true identity and the source of his wealth become key mysteries that drive the narrative. As Nick becomes increasingly involved in Gatsby's life, he learns that Gatsby is in love with Daisy and that their history dates back to a romantic encounter before Daisy married Tom. Gatsby, driven by an unwavering belief in the power of wealth and the American dream, has spent years amassing his fortune in the hope of winning Daisy back. Nick serves as the intermediary between Gatsby and Daisy, facilitating a reunion between the former lovers. The novel explores the themes of unrequited love, the corrupting influence of wealth, and the pursuit of the American dream. Gatsby's grandiose mansion, symbolizing the excesses of the Jazz Age, stands in stark contrast to the moral decay and disillusionment that lurk beneath the surface. As the narrative unfolds, tensions rise between Gatsby and Tom, with both vying for Daisy's affection. Gatsby's dreams of a future with Daisy are shattered when Tom reveals Gatsby's questionable business dealings and forces Daisy to confront the reality of her choices. The climax of the novel occurs with a tragic incident that results in the death of Myrtle Wilson, Tom's mistress. The aftermath of Myrtle's death sets off a chain of events leading to Gatsby's demise. Tom, in an act of revenge, informs Myrtle's husband, George Wilson, that Gatsby owns the car that struck and killed his wife. Consumed by grief and rage, Wilson confronts Gatsby and then takes his own life. Gatsby is found dead in his opulent mansion, the victim of George Wilson's misguided vengeance. The novel concludes with Nick reflecting on the tragic events that unfolded during that summer. He becomes disillusioned with the moral decay and superficiality of the society he has encountered, particularly within the East Coast elite. Nick returns to the Midwest, leaving behind the decadence of the East and the illusory dreams of Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is widely regarded as a critique of the American dream and the moral emptiness of the Yazigi. The characters, especially Gatsby, embody the pursuit of wealth and success as a means of achieving happiness and social acceptance. However, Fitzgerald paints a bleak picture of this pursuit, highlighting the moral compromises and illusions that often accompany the quest for material success. The character of Gatsby himself is a complex and tragic figure. Despite his immense wealth and glamorous lifestyle, Gatsby is ultimately unable to transcend the social barriers that separate him from Daisy and the East Egg elite. His obsession with the past and his unwavering belief in the redemptive power of wealth lead to his downfall. Daisy Buchanan, too, is a symbol of the hollowness of the American dream. She is torn between the stability and wealth offered by Tom and the romantic idealism of Gatsby. Her inability to make a definitive choice and her retreat into the safety of wealth underscore the novel's critique of the superficial values that dominated the era. Tom Buchanan embodies the callousness and privilege of the upper class. His affair with Myrtle, his lack of remorse for his actions, and his ability to manipulate those around him reveal a character devoid of moral scruples. Tom's wealth and social standing shield him from the consequences of his behavior, further emphasizing the novel's exploration of the corrupting influence of wealth. The Valley of Ashes, a desolate industrial area between West Egg and New York City, serves as a metaphor for the moral and social decay of the time. The ashes represent the detritus of the American dream, the discarded dreams and aspirations of those who strive for success, but find themselves trapped in a cycle of poverty and despair. Fitzgerald's prose is both lyrical and incisive, capturing the essence of the Jazz Age with its glamour, excess, and moral ambiguity. The novel's structure, with Nick as the narrator, allows readers to navigate the complex social landscape through the eyes of an outsider. Nick's gradual disillusionment mirrors the larger themes of the novel as he becomes a witness to the moral decay that lurks beneath the surface of the American dream. The Great Gatsby remains a timeless exploration of the complexities of human nature and the elusive nature of the American dream. Its enduring relevance is reflected in its continued presence in literature curricula and its adaptation into various film and stage productions. Fitzgerald's critique of the excesses of the Jazz Age and the moral vacuum of the pursuit of wealth continues to resonate with readers, inviting reflection on the timeless themes of love, loss, and the elusive quest for a meaningful and authentic life. Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind, by Margaret Mitchell, is a sweeping epic that unfolds against the backdrop of the American Civil War and the Reconstruction era. Published in 1936, the novel has become a classic of American literature, capturing the complexities of the Southern experience during a tumultuous period in history. At its core, the story revolves around Scarlett O'Hara, a headstrong and determined Southern belle, as she navigates the challenges of love, loss, and survival. The novel begins on the eve of the Civil War in the antebellum South, with Scarlett living on her family's plantation, Tara, in Georgia. Scarlett is a captivating and unconventional heroine, known for her beauty, wit, and unyielding spirit. However, her affections are reserved for Ashley Wilkes, a gentleman who is promised to another woman, Melanie Hamilton. Despite Scarlett's attempts to win Ashley's heart, he marries Melanie, leaving Scarlett heartbroken. As the war unfolds, Scarlett's world is shattered. The once idyllic Southern way of life crumbles, and Tara falls into disrepair. Scarlett, facing the harsh realities of war, becomes determined to preserve what is left of her family and her home. Her resilience and resourcefulness drive her to make difficult choices, including marrying Melanie's brother, Charles, to secure Tara's future. The war takes its toll on Scarlett and the South, and after the conflict's devastating conclusion, Scarlett finds herself a widow with a child on the way. Determined to rebuild Tara, she uses her charm and cunning to navigate the social and economic challenges of the Reconstruction era. Scarlett's indomitable spirit and pragmatic approach to life become defining traits as she faces adversity head-on. Rhett Butler, a charismatic and roguish blockade runner, becomes a prominent figure in Scarlett's life. Despite their tumultuous relationship, marked by passion and conflict, Rhett is captivated by Scarlett's strength and resilience. Scarlett, however, remains fixated on Ashley, leading to a complex and often heartbreaking dynamic between the three characters. The narrative unfolds against a backdrop of social and political upheaval in the South. Scarlett's journey is intertwined with the changing fortunes of the region, from the post-war struggles to the rise of the Ku Klux Klan and the challenges of Reconstruction. Mitchell's portrayal of this turbulent period is both expansive and intimate, providing readers with a vivid tapestry of Southern life during one of the most critical periods in American history. As Scarlett faces personal and societal challenges, the novel delves into themes of love, loss, and the consequences of war. Scarlett's evolution from a self-centered young woman to a resilient survivor is a central focus, and her relationships with Ashley, Melanie, and Rhett are examined with nuance and complexity. Melanie Hamilton stands in stark contrast to Scarlett. A paragon of virtue and selflessness, Melanie's unwavering kindness and loyalty make her a beloved figure in the narrative. Despite Scarlett's conflicted feelings towards Melanie, the two women form a complex bond that transcends societal expectations. The novel's title, Gone with the Wind, becomes a poignant metaphor for the fleeting nature of the Old South and the vanishing way of life. Scarlett, with her unyielding determination, becomes a symbol of survival amidst the ruins of the past. Mitchell's prose weaves a rich tapestry of Southern culture, portraying both its splendor and its flaws. The relationship between Scarlett and Rhett takes center stage as the novel progresses. Rhett, initially drawn to Scarlett's vivacity, becomes a foil to her impulsive nature. Their tumultuous marriage is marked by passion, jealousy, and misunderstandings. Rhett's famous declaration, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," as he leaves Scarlett, encapsulates the complexities of their relationship and the toll of Scarlett's relentless pursuit of Ashley. Despite her tumultuous personal life, Scarlett's business acumen and determination lead to her financial success. However, her success is bittersweet, as she grapples with the realization that her true desires are unattainable. The novel explores the cost of Scarlett's single-minded pursuit of societal acceptance and unrequited love. The final chapters of the novel bring Scarlett to a reckoning with her past. The death of Bonnie, Scarlett, and Rhett's daughter becomes a devastating turning point. Scarlett's grief and Rhett's despair lead to the ultimate dissolution of their marriage. Rhett, worn down by Scarlett's obsession with Ashley and her inability to reciprocate his love, leaves her, and the novel concludes with Scarlett vowing to win him back. Gone with the Wind is a complex and multifaceted narrative that goes beyond a love story. It is a historical epic that grapples with the aftermath of war, the erosion of a way of life, and the indomitable spirit of a woman determined to survive against all odds. Scarlett O'Hara, with her flaws and strengths, remains one of literature's most enduring and complex heroines. Margaret Mitchell's portrayal of the South, with its contradictions and complexities, adds depth to the narrative. The novel does not shy away from addressing the harsh realities of slavery, the impact of war on individuals and society, and the challenges of Reconstruction. Mitchell's exploration of these themes is both candid and thought-provoking, providing readers with a nuanced understanding of the historical and social context in which the story unfolds. As a work of historical fiction, Gone with the Wind has been both celebrated and criticized. While the novel offers a gripping and emotionally charged narrative, it has also faced scrutiny for its romanticized portrayal of the Old South and its depictions of race. Mitchell's treatment of the character Mammy, for example, reflects the racial attitudes prevalent in the time of the novel's writing. In conclusion, Gone with the Wind is a literary masterpiece that transcends the boundaries of romance and historical fiction. Margaret Mitchell's epic tale, set against the backdrop of the American Civil War and Reconstruction, weaves a narrative that explores the complexities of human nature, societal upheaval, and the inexorable passage of time. Scarlett O'Hara's journey, marked by love, loss, and resilience, remains a timeless and compelling exploration of the human spirit in the face of adversity.
Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. A detailed exploration. Pride and Prejudice, penned by Jane Austen and published in 1813, is a classic novel that transcends time, offering readers a nuanced portrayal of love, societal expectations, and personal growth, set against the backdrop of early 19th century England in the fictional town of Meryton. The narrative centers around the Bennet family, Mr. and Mrs. Bennet and their 5 daughters, Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Kitty, and Lydia. The novel's opening introduces Mr. Charles Bingley, a wealthy and amiable bachelor, and his friend Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, a reserved and seemingly proud gentleman. The Bennet family, particularly Mrs. Bennet, eagerly anticipates a match between Bingley and one of her daughters, especially Jane, the eldest and most beautiful. However, it is the complex dynamics between Elizabeth Bennet, known for her intelligence and wit, and Mr. Darcy that forms the heart of the story. Austen's narrative artistry is evident from the outset, with the memorable Maritone Ball serving as a microcosm of societal intricacies. Initial impressions are formed, and tensions arise between Elizabeth's spirited independence and Darcy's perceived pride. Austen's keen observations and witty characterizations come to life as Elizabeth overhears Darcy speaking ill of her, solidifying her unfavorable opinion of him. Simultaneously, her vivacity and intelligence leave a lasting impression on the reserved Darcy. The plot deepens with the introduction of Mr. George Wickham, a charming officer who claims mistreatment by Mr. Darcy. Wickham's interactions with Elizabeth fuel her negative perception of Darcy, adding layers to the web of misunderstandings and misjudgments. Meanwhile, Mr. Collins, the Bennet family's heir, arrives at Longbourn, announcing his intention to marry one of the Bennet sisters to secure their financial future. His proposal to Elizabeth is thwarted, leading him to marry her close friend, Charlotte Lucas. The departure of the Bingley and Darcy party from Netherfield, particularly without a proposal to Jane, leaves the Bennet family in disarray. Jane is heartbroken, and Elizabeth's disdain for Darcy intensifies when she learns of his role in separating Jane and Mr. Bingley. As societal intricacies unfold, the novel shifts to Hunsford, where Elizabeth visits Charlotte and her new husband, and Darcy unexpectedly reappears. In an unexpected turn of events, Darcy proposes to Elizabeth, revealing his deep love for her. However, his proposal is marred by his pride and apparent disdain for her family. Elizabeth staunchly refuses, confronting Darcy about his role in Jane and Mr. Bingley's separation and Wickham's grievances. Darcy, while defending his actions, is taken aback by Elizabeth's candor. The narrative reaches a pivotal moment when Elizabeth receives a letter from Darcy, explaining his side of the story and revealing Wickham's true character. This epistolary revelation, coupled with Darcy's continued kindness and generosity, prompts Elizabeth to reassess her judgments. The novel takes a dramatic turn when Lydia, the youngest Bennet sister, elopes with Wickham, threatening the family's reputation. Darcy's intervention to resolve Lydia's scandal, including arranging her marriage to Wickham, showcases his commitment to Elizabeth and her family. This pivotal moment marks a turning point in Elizabeth's perception of Darcy, as she learns of his selfless actions and begins to see him in a new light. Meanwhile, Bingley returns to Netherfield, and his renewed attentions to Jane revive their romance. The novel continues its exploration of love, self-awareness, and societal expectations as Elizabeth returns to Longbourn, her family's estate. With the re-entry of Darcy into her life, their interactions take on a new tenor. Both characters, having undergone significant personal growth, navigate the complexities of their feelings and societal norms. As the narrative unfolds, Bingley and Darcy's return to Netherfield brings with it a renewed focus on Jane. Bingley's attentions revive their romance, and the obstacles that once hindered their relationship begin to dissipate. Jane's gentle and amiable nature contrasts sharply with Elizabeth's wit and independence, creating a delightful parallel between the two sisters' love stories. Meanwhile, Darcy's interactions with Elizabeth become increasingly cordial. The tension that marked their earlier encounters transforms into a nuanced understanding. Darcy's continued displays of kindness and generosity, combined with Elizabeth's evolving perceptions, pave the way for a more profound connection between the two characters. In a final twist of fate, Bingley and Darcy formally propose to Jane and Elizabeth respectively. These proposals mark the climax of the novel, symbolizing the triumph of genuine affection over societal norms and initial misunderstandings. Jane's quiet and enduring love for Bingley, coupled with Elizabeth's newfound appreciation for Darcy's character, highlights the transformative power of self-awareness and the importance of genuine connections. The engagements of Jane and Elizabeth underscore one of the central themes of Pride and Prejudice: the transformative journey of its characters. Both sisters, guided by their distinct personalities, navigate the societal expectations that govern their lives. Jane's patience and Elizabeth's wit serve as complementary forces that challenge and ultimately transcend the constraints of their society. As the novel draws to a close, Austen masterfully weaves a resolution that is both satisfying and thought-provoking. The engagements signify not only the union of two couples, but also the triumph of love that transcends societal expectations. The societal critique that runs throughout the novel is subtly addressed, emphasizing the value of genuine connections over mere societal propriety. In essence, Pride and Prejudice stands as a testament to Jane Austen's narrative prowess, offering readers a rich tapestry of characters, societal observations, and timeless themes. As one of literature's enduring classics, the novel continues to captivate readers with its wit, humor, and profound insights into the human condition. The novel builds to its climax with Elizabeth's return to Longbourn and the re-entry of Darcy into her life. Their interactions become increasingly cordial as both characters navigate the complexities of societal expectations and personal feelings. In a final twist of fate, Bingley and Darcy propose to Jane and Elizabeth, respectively, symbolizing the triumph of genuine affection over societal norms and initial misunderstandings. Pride and Prejudice concludes with the engagements of Jane and Elizabeth, underscoring the transformative power of self-awareness and the importance of genuine love in the face of societal expectations. The novel's enduring appeal lies in Austen's astute observations of the societal norms of her time, her sharp characterizations, and her exploration of the complexities of human relationships. As a timeless classic, Pride and Prejudice continues to captivate readers with its wit, social commentary, and poignant portrayal of love and self-discovery.
The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne is a profound exploration of human nature, morality, and the consequences of societal judgment. Set in 17th century Puritan Massachusetts, the novel unfolds against a backdrop of strict religious values and rigid social expectations. At the heart of the narrative is Hester Prynne, a young woman who commits the sin of adultery and is condemned to wear a scarlet letter A on her chest as a symbol of her shame. This sweeping tale delves into the complexities of sin, guilt, redemption, and the transformative power of personal growth. The story begins with Hester standing on a scaffold in the market square, cradling her infant daughter, Pearl. The scarlet letter adorns her chest as a potent symbol of her transgression. The townspeople, staunch adherents to Puritan values, gaze up on her with a mixture of curiosity, judgment, and moral superiority. Hester, resolute and dignified, refuses to disclose the name of the child's father, choosing to bear the weight of her sin in silence. Hawthorne's vivid and evocative prose immerses the reader in the austere atmosphere of Puritan society, where strict moral codes and religious fervour dominate daily life. The Scarlet Letter becomes a focal point not only in Hester's life, but also in the collective consciousness of the community. It serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of straying from societal norms and the harsh judgment that follows. Hester's estranged husband, Roger Chillingworth, arrives in the town under a false identity and takes up residence. He is a man consumed by a desire for revenge, determined to uncover the identity of Hester's lover and make him suffer. Chillingworth assumes the role of the town's physician, allowing him close proximity to the Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale, the young and revered minister whose growing anguish becomes a central theme in the novel. The narrative unfolds with a delicate interplay of sin, secrecy, and societal expectations. Hester, despite her ostracism, engages in charitable works and develops a compassionate nature that challenges the townspeople's preconceived notions. Her scarlet letter becomes a symbol not only of her shame, but also of her strength and resilience in the face of judgment. As the story progresses, the relationship between Hester and Dimmesdale deepens, revealing the intricate web of emotions and conflicts that bind them. Dimmesdale, burdened by the weight of his hidden guilt, undergoes a profound internal struggle. The juxtaposition of his public piety and private sin serves as a poignant commentary on the hypocrisy inherent in societal expectations. Pearl, Hester's daughter, is a striking character whose presence reverberates throughout the narrative. Described as a willful and ethereal child, Pearl is not merely a bystander in the story, but a living embodiment of the consequences of sin. Her interactions with the world, characterized by a sense of otherworldliness, contribute to the novel's exploration of the complexities of human nature. The novel reaches its climax during the town's Election Day festivities, a scene teeming with symbolism and dramatic tension. Hester and Pearl join the crowd, and Dimmesdale, in the throes of his internal torment, ascends the scaffold to confess his sins. In a moment of profound catharsis, he reveals the scarlet letter on his chest, shocking the community with the revelation of his hidden guilt. Dimmesdale's public confession is a turning point in the narrative, marking the culmination of his internal struggle and the beginning of his path toward redemption. However, the toll of his confession proves too much for his weakened constitution, and he dies shortly afterward. The revelation of Dimmesdale's guilt shatters the illusions of purity and virtue, exposing the flaws within the rigid societal structure. The aftermath of Dimmesdale's confession sees Hester and Pearl leaving the town temporarily. Their absence becomes a period of introspection and self-discovery for both characters. Hester's scarlet letter, once a symbol of shame, takes on new significance. No longer merely a mark of her transgression, it becomes a badge of honor, signifying her ability to endure and transcend societal judgment. Hester returns to the town, resuming her life with a renewed sense of purpose. The scarlet letter, now viewed with a mixture of awe and admiration, serves as a testament to her strength and resilience. The townspeople, once quick to condemn her, begin to see her in a new light, acknowledging the depth of her character and the transformative power of her experiences. The novel concludes with a poignant scene in the graveyard where Hester and Dimmesdale are buried side by side. Their shared gravestone bears a scarlet letter, symbolizing their eternal connection and the complex interplay of sin, forgiveness, and redemption. The novel leaves readers with a profound reflection on the enduring consequences of human actions and the potential for growth and renewal, even in the face of societal judgment. Hawthorne's exploration of sin and its consequences is nuanced and multifaceted. The scarlet letter, initially a symbol of shame, evolves into a complex emblem of identity, resilience, and the capacity for personal transformation. The characters, especially Hester and Dimmesdale, undergo profound journeys that illuminate the complexities of the human soul. The Scarlet Letter transcends its historical and cultural context, resonating with readers across time and borders. Hawthorne's masterful use of symbolism, rich character development, and exploration of timeless themes contribute to the enduring relevance of this literary classic. As readers navigate the intricacies of Puritan society alongside the characters, they are confronted with profound questions about morality, judgment, and the indomitable human spirit.